Hey everybody, listen. Whoo, child. In the famous words of Maya Angelou, when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. Believe them the first time. I'm here to tell you, I did a short a few days ago saying I stood in the fire for you so that you don't have to stand in the fire. And when I tell you, I know I've been gone for a minute, and honey, I have been standing in the fire. Not some people will verbally tell you who they are, but we choose to look beyond it because we don't want to believe it, or they tell you who they were, but they said that they've changed. So being the empath and the nice person and the person with compassion that you probably are, you thought, okay, I'm going to give this person a chance. They say they've changed. Let's see what that looks like. Don't do it. Believe them. When they tell you something or when they show you who they are, run. I sat and I contemplated, first of all, what am I going to name this video? Because it's so many moving pieces to what I've just been dealing with. I just kind of don't know where to start. So I'm going to sit here and have a conversation with you, ladies and gentlemen. You know, it's a two-way street. But I am here to tell you and encourage you. You may be going through it. The goal is to prevent any of you from going through what I've gone through recently, because it can be a painful and traumatic experience. And what do I mean by that? Well, you come across somebody that befriends you. They're in a situation, and because you're kind, like I said, passionate, you're going to give them the benefit of the doubt, and you're going to see where things go. And I don't know, I'm going to do several videos, but in this video, I'm going to touch base on a lot of different things of what I learned. See, we all come here to learn certain lessons. We're all going to go through certain experiences. Oh, before I keep going, let me say, I listen. Again, I don't know where to start. When you start to see things for what they really are, pay attention and keep going, move on. Stop giving a person an opportunity to show you who they really are 2 and 3 times. Because what happens is we see flags, we see subtle, and it's very subtle. So when people talk about dealing with narcissists, I get it, that word is overused nowadays. You know, people, just because somebody's toxic, people will say, oh, that person was narcissistic. Well, at the end of the day, we all have some type of a narcissistic tendency. They may not always be real derogatory and negative, but we all have them. Hi, Mama. But we all have them. But you know, when I say narcissist, if you've ever brushed up with one or been in a situation with one, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't mean just toxic. But anyway, so you know, I've been off of YouTube for several weeks. I did pop back in, I think about a couple of weeks ago, and said that I was back. I have been under the weather, which I had been. And so as all of the components were coming together, I can kind of pinpoint why I was underneath the weather. Sometimes we deal with forces that are up against us, invisible forces, and we don't see it. And so the body knows it, though. The body keeps score. Know that. So if you're ever in a situation that you've been dealing with somebody and all of a sudden you're sick or your body's just reacting in a negative manner, there's a reason for that. So anyway, you know, I've been away. I've been dealing with so many things. Oh, this is what I was going to say. So I'm reinventing myself a little bit. So, you know, you see the new hair, of course. And look what I did. I went and got my nose pierced the other day. Yes, I did that. And I am one who does not like pain. You should have heard me on that video. Even though my daughter videoed it. Even though it was quick. I'm a big baby when it comes to pain. I don't like no kind of pain. So, let's talk about emotional pain. That pain is the type of pain you don't ever want to deal with. That pain lingers on for a long time. It can linger on for days, weeks, months, years. It just depends. And I'm one, I don't like pain. And I just kind of went through what I consider a pretty painful situation. Why? Because I was helping somebody that I thought we were cultivating a friendship. On my end, it was genuine. It was compassionate. I was transparent, clear, upfront. All of those good things that a healthy friendship should be. The other person, I think they mirrored, because people will mirror you. I think they mirrored what I was giving, learned my language, and, you know, and projected it back to me. So I thought we were, you know, levitating on the same playing field. I thought the person was really genuine. They were definitely charming, sweet, given plenty of accolades, being very respectful. We had a little playful moments. Some people are performative. Let's say that. They know how to perform very well. They're actors, manipulators, imposters, impersonators, characters, and they're very good at it. So good at it, you just never see what's gonna come until bam, it hits you. And when that hits you, you talking about some pain that you didn't see coming. I mean, I hadn't had that pain since I probably was in high school. Or not maybe high school, but as a very young adult. So anyway, being in certain situations, once they start to wear on you, you start to age. I think I was starting to look like aged, old. That's why I was like, I'm in no position to come and do videos and give advice and be uplifting as I normally am while I'm in this state. Now, granted, a lot of times we like to show the journey, but again, I had a lot on my plate. I had a lot going on. I've developed a nonprofit organization, so I had been working on that project, and I had a couple of other projects that I was working on. I may have mentioned that I had some stuff going on. I'm not really sure. So that is what I had been working on, and all at the same time, trying to cultivate this friendship. Here's the other deal with this thing, people. Stop overgiving. It's okay to establish friendships if you want to. I have to go back to videos that I've seen where people say, and I'm doing this because the sun is beaming right on my forehead, where people say, I'm not interested in any friendship. As a matter of fact, let me turn around. Let me move this camera. Hold on. Put the sun behind me. Sorry, it's a fly. What was I saying? I have to go back to where people would say, I don't want a friendship. I don't want no friends. It's too much work. Oh, drop my glasses. Hold on. It's too much work. People are too shady. People are too needy. I really don't mind a needy person, but over needy, I don't like all of that. But what I'm saying is, we overextend ourselves, our kindness, and people see that, and then they'll take your kindness for weakness, and they'll trample all over it. Now, as long as you're performing for them, some people, these new friends, or even might be current friends, as long as we are performing, I found out everything is great. I'm the greatest. I'm loved. I'm beautiful. I'm smart. I'm intelligent. I'm kind-hearted. I'm all of these great things as long as I'm performing. As soon as the music stops, guess what else stops? All of that admiration, all of that love. Why? Because it was fake from the beginning. It was a way into my life. It was a way into my goodness. It was a way to extract all of my light, all of my energy, the good energy that I brought. Some people will come just to drain your energy, take advantage of your goodness with no regard. And you ask yourself, what kind of a person, what kind of a heart is that? This leads me back to when we talk about, narcissistic personality disorder. Some people can do it without batting an eye. They have no empathy, but they can mirror it. They can mirror you to get what they want. Was this person narcissist? I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I can't clinically diagnose anybody as a narcissist. But what I can tell you, I can talk about the characteristics. I can talk about what I experienced. I can talk about how this person has a grandiose attitude, how a lot of what they talk about is like a grand illusion. I can talk about the kind of love bombing, so to speak, in the beginning stages, because there's stages on how they treat you. So you go through the love bombing stage. You're so awesome. You're excellent. You're beautiful. All of those great things. Again, as long as you're performing, or as long as you're still feeding their ego, and you're a good supply for them. You have something that they like, that they're looking for. They see it in you. And then either you start to wake up and start to notice subtle shifts, because what they start to do is, when they had enough, they'll start to pull back. Or if they've attached onto another supply, you're getting ready to become obsolete. They're getting ready to discard you. So they start to pull their energy back. They start to treat you different. And you scratching your head like, what just happened? We was just good yesterday, 2 days ago, and now you're cold, you're distant. I've done all these great things for you. I thought we were developing a great friendship, only to find out that it was not that. And as time goes on, and you still hanging around trying to figure out, okay, well, what happened? Well, maybe this is not what I'm seeing. Maybe I'm tripping. Did I do something wrong? Maybe I did something wrong. Let me think. Let me go back. 2 days ago, we was fine. A week ago, we were fine. I didn't do anything except be nice and kind. What happened? And the next thing you know, the communications gets shorter and shorter, drier and drier, not as warm and welcoming as before. And then next thing you know, communication is kind of almost gone, or something is your fault. Like, let's say you busy and you don't answer a call that day. You were doing something. Instead of that person checking in and saying, hey, you good? I called, you didn't answer, or sending you a message, it all of a sudden becomes your fault. Oh, you're ignoring me? How dare you ignore me? I've been nothing but good to you. You know, they kind of turn the tables on you. And you're like, well, wait a minute. What's going on here? I just missed one phone call. What happened? That's because they already had checked out. They're getting ready to move on, and they want to thump you to the side like a little flea. Like they can discard you like you're just a piece of trash. And like your contribution, the friendship that you were cultivating, didn't mean anything. These people are evil. They're vicious. So I'm sharing bits and pieces of this story. I don't want to drag this on, so I'll be back with another part of what I'm talking about in this dynamic. But what I want to share with you and what I want to say is, like I've said earlier in the beginning of this video, when somebody shows you or tells you who they are, believe them the first time. I thought I had that down packed. I thought I had it down. We always think we got it figured out. I wouldn't have saw this coming from 10 miles away, because I thought I covered all of that. I thought I healed all of that. I thought I knew better. But some people are so skilled at their craft of manipulation, you just don't see it coming. You just trying to be a nice person. You just trying to, be a friend. And that's the other thing. Get that word friend. Take that out of your vocabulary, please. You don't have any friends. Take that out of your vocabulary. When you meet new people, if you choose to deal with them, make sure you call them an associate. Don't be so quick to call people your friend. The other thing is, keep your business to yourself, because people will befriend you, find out all your business. That's because they need to study you and learn how they can manipulate you. Learn your weak spots and then take it from there. And then you're playing their game. Don't play their game. Don't give them what you're doing is giving them ammunition to use against you at some point, because they don't genuinely care about what your problems are, what your issues are, who wronged you in the past. All of that is ammunition. Turn that story around if you're going to tell a story. If you have had trauma, heartache, turn that story around. Don't tell that person that. You tell them your life was beautiful. You was treated like a queen or like a king all the time. You didn't put up with any nonsense. The first time somebody brought you nonsense, you kicked them to the curb. That way, that person will handle you differently. But if you tell them your heartache and your pain and your struggles, I guarantee you, been through it, they are going to do the exact same thing. Why that happens, I don't know. We tell those stories because we want somebody to see us. We share those stories because we want to feel valued. We want to feel like we finally found somebody who understands us, who gets it, who sees me. They not going to do this, because they listen so intently. They're just so passionate at hearing your story that there's no way they're going to do the same thing. And they're going to comfort you during that time. But honey, let me tell you something. Only thing they doing is collecting information. Like a little squirrel. You know how squirrels store food in their mouth and, for the winter or whatever. They just storing that information. Or some just storing it in their brain so that later on when they ready, oh, you best believe they going to pull it out like a machine gun on you, like, and they going to shoot you down with your own information, with your pain, your trauma, your childhood issues, your bad relationships, your terrible ex-husband, your horrible toxic friends that you had that used you and abused you, walked all over you like a rug. they gonna take all of that information. So you better tell this person that you lived a great life and you took no mess off of nobody. Anyway, I'm not gonna drag this on. It's been 20 minutes. So I'm back. Please subscribe to the channel. Give the video a thumbs up so that this message gets out there, because I have some messages. I have a story to tell, bits and pieces, as I think about what I've just gone through this past few months. And you guys haven't been seeing me. It's been a lot. But again, give the videos a thumbs up. Leave comments in the comments section. Be nice, keep it clean. You know, this is a safe space for people to share their experiences. I know I'm not the only person that has experienced what I'm sharing. Others have. People need healing. We need healing. So we need to be compassionate in dealing with each other. So if you're going to leave a comment, make sure it's healing. We don't need the dismissiveness. We don't need the complaining. We don't need people to be harsh, closed off. We need your heart open, your mind open. We need some uplifting comments. We need some belief. We need some positive information, positive feedback. If you have any favorite affirmations, share them, and just know all things are possible if you believe. And I believe, like I said, we all come here to we all have a purpose for coming here. Find out what that purpose is. Find out what that purpose is, what your purpose is. I had to take a break. The sun was beaming, but the sun has cooled down a little bit. So I'm just here to finish wrapping up the video. I didn't want to leave it cut off like it was. Anyway, give the video a thumbs up. Share it with somebody you think could benefit from the information. I will be back with another video probably today to fill you in on some more information. Anyway, I love you guys. Thanks for everybody who has stuck around, supported me, waited for me to come back. But I'm back, and I'm just trying to make sure I'm staying positive and spreading great information. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay? Bye.